What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at Moments Inzaghi. He is coming in probably the cheapest moment you're going to find just for now, and to be fair, Vieri isn't far off from him. He is a 3-star, 4-star, 91 rated striker, Italian, 5'11", and to be honest, a little bit lackluster in pretty much every version. He's 85. He's 85 rated, unfortunately. He doesn't really kind of come close to most of the walkout strikers. Mid is 87, a little bit more of the rating, especially seen as though he comes out straight away. And then we get the prime at 90, and normally what you're finding is the pace just isn't enough. We've got a very good shooting, very good pace for what this card is. Medium-low work rates, we've got team player on the traits, and unfortunately, that is about it. We've got very good shooting, as you can see, great finishing and positioning, as a lot of these slower strikers are. They tend to have that ball control, that agility, that finishing that really kind of puts them as a fantastic striker, but the pace of him just isn't quite there, and just everything else just seems a little bit lackluster in his performance, and that's why we've got a Moments coming in just above 200k already. That being said, I think everybody's got to give it a fair shout. I'm really happy with all the dynamics this year, so very happy to get my hands on as many of these cards as possible. We've got great head and accuracy, jumping's definitely up there, and it's got some decent reactions. There is some nice little stats within this, just some kind of key points of areas. Yes, passing, again, not necessarily incredible, but to be fair to a striker, doesn't necessarily need that big of a kind of boost really. So let's give him a fair shot. We'll jump into a Rivals game and see what he can kind of handle. 200k, worth it or not? Inzaghi looking at Ben. And that's where passing may come into it, and sometimes is the kind of benefit of having a striker with very good all-round stats. I'm not going to say that a striker with incredible passing would still pull it off, but it just gives him that little bit of a percentage boost to say that it could go off. Finding in Cancelo, can we find anybody? Goes with the Inzaghi. What are we looking for? He's got okay dribbling, not saying that it's going to be incredible, but we need to do something. It just, with the difference between him and kind of more of a top end sort of striker, is you can definitely create more, and I'm not saying that kind of throws him down, that he can never create, but most definitely you'll get more opportunities from the likes of the Mbappes, the Ronaldos, the Messis, where they can create more, and sometimes it just becomes a little bit easier. It free flows for it, and yes, having that ability, it's beautiful. Managed to get a goal this time, but you just kind of fall into their play a little bit easy. Sometimes you get strikers and it takes a little bit to adapt. I know for me, Cantona being one, as kind of like that centre forward sort of cam kind of striker, he isn't necessarily a pick up and use player, because you've kind of got to get used to him. There's a different level of sort of time that you've got to put into it, and you're not just going to pick up that sort of striker, whereas Mbappe most definitely is a player that you pick up, you play with, and you're absolutely fantastic with him. Inzaghi down the line. It's a cracking ball to Messi this time. Going to look for him back. We know he's got them heading ability. Dinks it in. It's just nowhere near. He's never getting it from there. Vieira's going to give him a little sweet hit, but again, a little bit lackluster. Inzaghi. I thought he had it. The keeper movement looked like he was letting that in. Again, shooting wise, you're going to have a good time with him. If you can get him in front of goal, that's literally 3/4 of the job, because people like him, very much how like a Lewandowski would be like, they don't necessarily have a crazy amount of pace. Some of obviously Lewandowski's does, but you get what I mean. Not all of them have this 90 pace striker that's just absolutely quick as lightning, but their shooting ability is incredible. Inzaghi making the run off from him. We just know that we're not going to be able to fully commit with him, and you've definitely got to make them passes. I've just screwed that. I thought he was coming close. Inzaghi finding that throw in, looking for the room, tries the little dink, wanted to go across box for Pires, but he had a different option for me. Managing to win it back here though. Tries to find a slit, hits it across. Pires is not going to beat James to the ball this time. I mean, a big thing I like with these sort of moments, especially the sort of lower end. I know obviously Pires and Inzaghi, both very kind of bottom end sort of price, is that they are affordable. Most people can afford these sorts of cards, or at least one of them, to have a go in the team. Maybe give him a shout in a club. Obviously, if you're an Arsenal fan, then you've got Pires. If you're Italian, you got Inzaghi, and they are very, very cheap strikers. Yes, I know. Obviously, when it comes to cheap icons, normally means they're not necessarily the greatest, but it's the fact that they are this accessible. Same with the fact Ronaldo, Messi, gold at 100k pretty much a pop. It's nice that they are this sort of price, even if it means that everybody has them. It kind of just gives you that level playing field, whereas we're seeing, like I say, with R9, pretty much extinct until almost July time. What is the point in having a card that you physically, can't pick up for the coins, which, let's not get it twisted, he is still 12, 13 million. Inzaghi, you love it. It's still 12, 13 million, but at least he's actually on the market. It's a step in the right direction, really. So if we do going in to Inzaghi, then he's coming in at 270. Obviously, depending on the time of day, there isn't loads upon loads of people kind of trading with him, and hopefully we do manage to sell him at about 240, as I think we may actually make profit. Not much, but it goes towards the funds to more moments, and we're going to be really hitting hard on these now. We want to get literally all 105 done, just to say that we've done them. Yes, we haven't got them in draft, so it makes it a little bit of a slower process, as obviously we have to buy them and make sure we're not going stupid absurd amount of coins, because A, we don't have that, and B, we don't want to be losing loads upon loads, so we can keep this sustainable and keep it moving in the right direction. But Inzaghi managed to get 2 goals in the game, man of the match, did alright. The skill moves is obviously going to be the big factor of him, as dribbling wise. He's not a dribbler. He's not somebody that kind of just goes around the team. He's get the ball into your feet, pass it out, get that movement, and then stick something on his head. Stick something for him to volley, to attack, to hit one time, or obviously into head as well. But he's not necessarily your fancy footwork, skilling, rainbow flicking kind of striker. He is just a cold-hearted striker. Get it into me and I will finish. His finishing's 90, well, he's 97 on the base, which is absolutely fantastic. We went with the engine again going into what Footbin said, with 19 of its voters giving him the engine. So for me, I think that is most definitely the better option. We've already got a lot of the shooting, so really we don't want to go with that one, because we want that agility balance upgraded. We want a little bit more passing, because he is, like I say, more of a pass and move striker rather than take on the team. So you've got to give him the right equipment to do that. You've got to increase his passing, get a little bit more on that pace, just to kind of really ramp it up a little bit. And then dribbling is just a little side bonus. We get the agility and balance, which is always fantastic. He's got decent composure, head and accuracy, and jumping's nice. I think he is just an overall old school striker. He's not necessarily quick, but he's got a finish on him, and I think if you can get him in them right positions, you're gonna really reap the benefits of it. We saw right now, yes, the first one maybe a little bit more of a tap in as such, because the keeper was kind of moving at the time, but he manages to get it in. Second one just absolutely powers it. It's absolute beautiful stuff from him, and I think most definitely as the lowest priced icon, why not? Give him a go. If you've got an Italian team, a Serie A team, just a kind of a generic fun team, some of these moments are genuinely just worth a go to say I've played with them. And I think definitely Inzaghi, if you can link him with a Vieri, there's going to be people out there that don't necessarily have the ability to have multiple moments of top sort of level in your team. So if you can get a striker combination and see how many goals you can get, why not? I think this game is definitely there to have the fun of as well. I think there is a lot of competitiveness, which is natural. It's a football game. Nobody wants to lose, so you want to do it. And what's even worse to make people really want to win is add a reward to it as well. So the competitiveness is massive, but I think that's where a challenger, something different, would actually be really cool in trying the Italian duo up front, maybe getting a kind of another moments on your left, right mid, centre mid, try and get in one down the spine, a goalkeeper, centre back, centre mid and striker, something absolutely different, and it doesn't matter on the price. If I was looking as an overall for a striker, I'd be looking at about an 8.7 to an 8.9, depending on how his games continued, because he definitely had a couple of very, very strong starts there and really did kind of reap the rewards. Overall, like I say, 8.7, 8.9. Hopefully we can get him sold for a little bit more of a profit. Not an awful striker. Well, not an incredible striker, but definitely not awful at the minimum. Kind of key points is pace is okay, shooting's fantastic, little bit on that increase of passing, which is good. Dribbling wise, again, not necessarily a massive dribbler, but holding on to the ball and having that ball control is good, and a great header of the ball. So let me know down below what you think about him. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.